truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do welcome you to The Truth, Lies, and Politics here on Spirit TV. I am Paul Ekurot Eki, the show host, and this is a dynamic space where ideas collide, opinions ignite, and perspectives are challenged. I do invite you to this conversation, the conversations that affect you and I on a daily, but also where we do exchange ideas across the table. You can be a part of this conversation on our socials, that is at Spirit TV UG on X, formerly Twitter, on YouTube, and on Facebook. That is at Spirit TV UG. And you can also contribute to the conversation. There will be numbers that are on the screen. You can feel free to send a text or a WhatsApp on those. Later on, hopefully, we'll be able to call. But before I do invite or I do introduce the guests on the show, well, I would like to just take a look at what happened in the week in a short while, but would like to leave this message with you. It's been 25 years since the African Union was formed, a body mandated to promote peace, security, and stability on the continent, to uphold democracy, good governance, and human rights for all African people. But looking at today's Africa, from coups to conflicts, from corruption to cries for justice, we ask, has the African Union truly lived up to its purpose? And closer to home, does Uganda even feel the impact of African Union in our daily lives? Or is it just another talking shop for leaders in fancy suits and long speeches? Tonight, on The Truth, Lies, and Politics, we unpack the real influence of the African Union, the truth behind its promises, and what must change for Africa to finally feel its own union. Only on Spirit TV. Stay informed, stay engaged. And we do welcome you back to The Truth, Lies, and Politics here on Spirit TV. And it's been an interesting week. Of course, between today and tomorrow, we have, yes, the MPs getting nominated at the Electoral Commission. But also very sad incident that we got to know this morning, early this morning, of the accident that happened on the Kampala-Gulu highway that had over 60 people, pass on, but police now has brought out another statement, about 40 that passed on. Either way, lives were lost, and that is a very, very sad situation. We've come from the wake of the burial of the former Prime Minister of Kenya, that is Raila Amolo Odinga, but also within the week, you have different presidential candidates canvassing the country in different parts of the country, trying to canvass for votes as we do get ready for the voting. Well, the Electoral Commission also communicated that the voting will take place on 15th, from 15th Jan, and we wait to see and hope that you make the right choice. Well, before I jump into our conversation on, the celebrating 25 years of, the organization, the African Union, allow me to introduce the guests that we have in studio this evening. I will start with my extreme left, that is Mr. Charles Romushana, who is a political analyst and also a former spy. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
The Almighty God of all creation is great. The sign that appeared before when the bush was burning, and it was not the fire that was not burning the bush. And God told Moses, I have heard the cries of my people. Come to liberate them myself. The rest you know. the plagues. Those who were oppressing the people whose cry God heard were killed. The army was killed. The liberated even passed through water. The sea was separated and they passed through water. They were fed on manna, etc. But they were also killed. Literally none reached the promised land. So the oppressor was killed, even the liberated was killed. What is constant in the two is that if you do what God doesn't want, you die, regardless of who you are. and we continue not to do what God wants.
Yes.
That's why you're talking about that tragedy.
Yes.
Actually, you are talking about those who have died. You're not talking about the rules that were broken. Yes, because the rules are don't overtake, in a corner, the blind spot. That's a rule.
Yes.
And it is meant for us to reach where we are going safely.
Yes.
Yes, but it's a rule we break conveniently. So we always look at the results. We don't look at
what happened before.
At the arrogance of drivers.
The recklessness, yes.
It's not recklessness really. It goes beyond recklessness. It's arrogance.
Yes.
Mainly those who drive big vehicles. And the question now, therefore, is: are they fit to be drivers? Because when I grew up, you wouldn't. By the time you drive a bus or a lorry, you would be fairly aged. Very experienced. Yes, I remember we used to encourage our driver to increase speed when we were in school. The driver would ignore you.
Yes.
But now you have got young people very excited with these machines,
and they are blasting music in the machines. Wow. Thank you very much for that one. Actually, you've mentioned something. We've looked at the people who've passed on but forgotten the rules that were broken, but also the families that have lost loved ones because of that one act. And there is so much that happens there, which is a really, really sad situation. We pray that,
once I was
we can do something.
For taking your time. Once I was traveling between Ishaka and Mbarara on my way to Kampala. And the driver was very reckless. One, we were overpacked in the vehicle. The driver was very reckless. Then he would stop so we reached traffic light. We reached traffic police, and he gave the traffic police officer money. So I protested. Told the traffic policeman, "You don't know what we are going through." And of course he threatened to have me arrested. I said, "You probably don't know whom you are tampering with. You have no capacity." So they let us go. But when I reached Mbarara, this guy had, first and foremost, the people in the taxi attacked me. And when I reached Mbarara, these guys had communicated to the taxis. They refused to take me because I was proceeding to Masaka. I had to walk and get a vehicle on the way. So in that bus, before they perished, if you had complained that the driver should reduce speed, they would tell you, go and drive your car.
Those moments we have, yes, what you're saying is very, very correct, and it's sad. But stand for truth, stand for the right thing. Thank you very much, Charles, for that. Next to him is a gentleman who is making his maiden appearance on the show. That is Mr. Kato Laban, who is a youth leader, but also a public policy analyst. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's a great pleasure to be here.
Yes.
I joined Charles Romushanga.
Yes.
And you and all the other Ugandans.
Yes.
Sympathize with the families, the relatives of those who have lost their beloved one. It's bad that more than 40 people.
Yes.
Some of them may be young.
It's so sad. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Laban. I do get to...
That's so mystery.
That is a saying that people say. It should continue. Yes, it should stay. It may come back and cause... It may come back and cause problems.
You should stay there.
All right. As I do introduce our third guest on the show, an anthropologist but also professor, we do welcome you, Mr. Ntege, and Dr. Ntege Jerome. We are glad to have you on the show once again. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here again. It's good to be invited. It's good to engage with you and people listening in. It's a tough season. Today I saw many people who are planning to lose and those who are engaging to win.
Who are planning to lose? How do you place
you
that?
plan to lose, but you all engage to go and
through.
try out. So
Yes.
definitely there will be one person who will be voted,
Yes.
and then 7 people will campaign. So people are charging up. They come from, we are talking about being bold, as the year is ending, and being generous. And I feel concerned about the death of those so many Ugandans. Those are 40 votes that have been lost,
Yes.
and probably many.
Yeah,
These are voters. We have, and I'm also said this time I'm trying to become a student of Musevenomics.
Okay.
I'm trying to learn.
You want to be Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda?
No, I just want to learn how to protect gains. So I want to first be a student of
Then you
gains.
protect, yes.
Then, so I'm really up to learning these gains and
Yes.
try to become a Musevenomics.
Yes.
It's not an easy journey, learning at the end. I mean, people are already protecting them. I want to learn how others are protecting them. So I'm on that journey.
Right.
It's an interesting one.
Yes. Wow, we do thank you, gentlemen, for that. And allow me just say 25 years of the African Union. This was celebrated in Feb. And when you think about the African Union, the mandate, was, we had a dream of unity, peace, and prosperity. And when you think of 25 years, has it been delivered? Okay, from the peace missions to power struggles, the African Union has walked a long road, yet Africa still battles the same storm. And so the questions are around that. Okay? Has the African Union truly shaped the continent? What is Uganda's part or influence, or how have we been influenced? And can Africa arise if its leaders keep meeting and we are wondering where the action is? And so I will start from, Dr. Jerome. Yes, I'll start from Dr. Jerome, then I'll go to Charles. From your own assessment, when the African Union was founded in 2001, it promised a stronger, a unified Africa, and has it lived up to that dream? From your own perspective, then we shall get to Kato and then to Charles.
Well, thank you. I've gotten a chance to visit the African Union building and also deliberated some few engagement there, coming up with statutes and policies. I've been in that journey and engaging different followers of African Union. So one, I would say, changing from Organization of African Union to AU, part of it was to create a union that was for African people as opposed to just African states and government leaders and political leaders. It was more engaged with the African people. And when we talk about the 55 states, that is the states, but the African people are many groups of people.
Yes.
Nigeria alone has over maybe 200 different groups of people. Uganda has many different groups of people. So the African Union is not up to just getting the states to agree and to come up with something, but it is more of engaging with the African people.
Okay.
Has it done some work? Yes, it has done some work, because first of all, it is still existing.
Yes.
We don't see sometimes the physical appearance of African Union in Uganda and some parts of the country, in the villages where we live, but we can feel part of it. Those who have been under war, they have had a chance to see an African Union situated team coming, people putting up Amazon and other teams to provide support.
Yes.
You may think it is not necessary, but if you are under war, you may need something at least to create some kind of stability. Yes, for people not to be murdered and killed. During COVID, we saw African Union coming up. I work as a medical anthropologist, but we saw Ethiopian Airline delivering COVID tests, kits, providing.
And that was the African Union mobilizing all of those things.
Mobilizing funds, and really it was summed up for Ethiopian Airline and African Union for doing that. Lately, I've seen African Union, they formed what we call African CDC.
Yes.
And African CDC has been also very useful in providing inter-border disease prevention strategies across Africa. Recently we had Mpox, and it's only African CDC that was able to purchase vaccines to support African people.
Yes.
And I really commend that for African CDC. When there is an outbreak, they are the first on the ground.
Yes.
As a body to come, they spend a lot of epidemiologists coming on the ground to support African people. So in one way you feel there's something going on, but in another way you really feel bad that we can't have a trade union. Come on, you have over 1.3 billion people. If you are able to buy and trade together, that would be boom. I mean, everybody would know, but we can't have a union that 60% of its survival depends on those who colonized us.
And then Dr. Antege, let me stop you there, because we'll get to that point. But just a quick one.
So I'm grateful for what they have done.
Yes.
I'm somehow unhappy that they have not engaged with the African people. They have engaged with the African states. But not the civil society. In the AU is nowhere. You don't see civil society. I would love to have the civil society, the people, go straight to AU and be part of it. How they get their people, how they elect. You see that it's always the government sending who gets participated, whatever. So the civil society, we are talking about privatization, we're talking about private sector, we're talking about business, we're talking about civil society going now actively participating in all governments.
Let's put a pause there, because we're coming back to that point. But on your part, on a scale of 1 to 10, what score would you give after the 25 years?
After the 25 years, maybe 40%.
Maybe 40%. Yes. All right. Okay. We'll get there. Thank you. Mr. Kato, from your own assessment, and I know that you've had an opportunity of watching and seeing, or even one way or another being involved in some of these things. 25 years on, the African Union, what is your general assessment of, do you feel it has been of impact? Do you feel it has done or achieved some of its mandate?
Thank you so much, before I go into your question,
yes,
I want to appreciate the spirit team for giving the young person part of this discussion.
Yes.
This is very important.
Is it?
For young people.
He's a youth. He's younger than you, Charles. Charles, isn't he younger than you?
No, those labels, the labels of a young person are labels of exploiters.
But in our own families, you know, we had those.
There is nothing.
It is oyo muto, oyo muto, oyo mukuru.
People drive.
Don't worry. Yes.
The driver, young person.
No.
Let's in terms of experience.
Kato, you don't worry. You say what you need to say. You say what you need to say.
A person with a beard.
My colleague here said he has had an opportunity to visit the African Union headquarters. I think equally, Charles Romushano, you have been there. If I am assuming at the headquarters. Me, I actually was there like 2 weeks back.
Oh.
Yeah, I was there for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yes.
Had the workshop. I had discussions. Actually, I happened even to meet the chairperson of the EU Commission.
Beautiful.
We had a one-on-one discussion as the young person at the Addis Ababa Convention Center. But also before I reached in Addis Ababa, at the airport, I met the SADC representative to the African Union, who comes from Mauritius. So we had.
You were sponsored or you spent your own money?
Young people.
I was sponsored, sir. Why you are worried?
Because I know there are those programs of indoctrination and they target your age.
No. I was sponsored.
Yes.
Yes. I'm part of the civil society.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a discussion with this representative for almost like 3 hours. We were at Bor International Airport.
Yes.
Addis Ababa. So one of the discussion actually was centering on the African Union activities.
Yeah.
The progress of African Union. What has it done? What are the challenges? That is the discussion I had with him.
It's beautiful.
It was along, because the workshop I was on, it had all, not only the people from African continent, but also the worldwide. So it was centering on that.
Yes.
And it had so many African presidents. The discussion was open, where we were allowed to contribute.
Yeah.
So then after, I took 2 days at the African Union headquarters. Had the engagements actually happened, the person that helped us to get in, because also you just know that also getting in sometimes there is a lot of bureaucracy, protocol,
process.
even when we are Africans.
Yes.
It is your home.
But you have protocol.
You have to first get in to get a person to enter with him. Maybe the person may be working with him.
Yes.
So I got an opportunity that I got a man who works, I may not mention his name because of the works within the security.
Yes.
But he comes from Rukunjiri, where Charles Romushana comes from.
From Charles's village.
I don't know, but he comes
knows
from
him.
Outside, yes.
So he works he's a Ugandan who
Yes,
works
but
at the
works
African
there.
Union.
Wonderful.
And really he gave us, with my colleagues, he gave us, I could call a legendary hospitality. For the 2 days we were there, we were able to see each and everything. So
you saw the African Union building.
everything.
Or you saw the entire African Union
actually,
in Africa.
Everything, including the conference center.
Yes.
I saw this building. There is this building
Built by Chinese.
Even there is a word Chinese somewhere.
Yes, yes.
Actually, because
But
this
the
is the new
student
one.
council has been there.
Yes, this is the new, this big one.
Yeah.
It is up. Then there is an old one where they
Yes.
shifted. Then I also, there is another building that it is not, it is empty, where the heads of state are supposed to be conducting the meetings, but they never go there. Like the time I spent in Addis Ababa and the African Union headquarters gave me a good picture and analyzed. I was able to go in, I looked at the activities, I read what is the mission,
The mandate,
what is
mission.
the mandate,
Yes.
what are the activities the African Union is doing. And to my thinking, even
Yes.
when I was discussing with people, I would agree with my colleague here that the African Union, it is centered on governments, but it is not brought in to the people.
It's centered
And
only
the
around
people do
government.
not believe that African Union exists apart from the governments. When you look at them, their collaboration are directly with the governments. They are not involving the civil society organization who reach to the people. And it is not only but even within Ethiopia.
Yes.
I can assure you, because Ethiopia does not have this, Addis Ababa does not have the borders, they don't have the taxis as much. So I happened to get a Uber because they use Uber.
Yes, yes.
When we were going there. So when we were going at the headquarters, we got an Uber. The person we told that we are going to the African Union headquarters.
Yes.
I can tell you the person even didn't know where they are.
Where the
And yet
African
it is
Union.
like 2 kilometers from there.
Wow.
You can imagine.
All right.
So I know I will be adding on because I have
Thank you so much,
but,
sir. All right.
but
that
I want
was
to
your-
say
yes.
that when you look at the expectation of the African Union, the mission, they are focusing more, they are more reacting when it comes to the issues of security. They react more on the issues of peace, on issuing suspensions to the countries. You have had Burkina Faso, Mali during that time. That's when they come to react. But when it comes to the issues of the people,
Okay.
the poverty,
They are quiet.
they are involved, but their work is not in the dim light. It's not so much. They don't overreact. Yet I think that is where the focus should be.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kato, for your experience in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, during the time. Thank you very much. I would like to move to Mr. Romshan. From your, so what percentage on the scale, 1 to 10? What would you give? He gave a 40%. What's be yours?
Since he made a statement that the African Union operation,
Yes.
that more than 50% rely on foreign aid, given that even actually the building was financed by the Chinese government. So who am I to go against doctor?
So you'll go in the same.
I will go with 40.
We'll wait to see what Mr. Charles gives the rating for that. Mr. Charles Romshana, the political analyst, and I know that when you look at geopolitics within Africa and beyond, has the African Union, from your own perspective, is it achieving, or for the past 25 years, have they moved and had impact within Africa?
Tell him to be nice to them, please.
He's giving his assessments. His
nice
own.
The African Union.
He's giving
They
his-
send the cattle to.
But it doesn't have
Go
to be
and
nice to
participate.
everyone.
he has not been there like you have, but
He has been there.
I think when you are still working with the government, when you are still a good president, you need to get an opportunity there.
No, the money for travel I converted into a car.
Yeah, I recall.
He
when
traveled
you-
by road
you
here.
always share those.
I bought a
Charles,
good car
please
instead
proceed.
of buying an air ticket. So Africa, where are you coming from? Where are you and where are you going? So you are on a journey. These people were in these buses. Some were asleep.
Most I think
Some
were asleep.
some were asleep. Some were in conversations. Probably others were
Some were dreaming.
Some on their phones.
probably some others were eating. They were not sure what happened to them was going to happen to them. So they are no more, and they can now be. Now they depend on our wishes. We wish or we pray that they rest, or their souls rest in eternal peace. So that's who we are. Where are we from? We are in a journey. We are on a journey. And we need to determine where we're coming from. So how are we behaving in this cruise? And are we going to reach? Have we taken stock of where we are coming from? The immediate past, we had the slave trade. Did Africa stop slave trade?
No.
It's a good question.
So we did not stop slave trade.
But it reduced.
No, we didn't stop it.
People go
Stopping and reducing is the difference.
You told me you say building.
First,
That should have
let him finish.
that should have
Let him
improved you.
finish. Yeah.
That should have improved you. So Africa had no capacity to stop slave trade,
Okay.
and yet slave trade destroyed us, destroyed our talent. Now the second one was colonialism.
Right.
That those who took us as slaves now decided to parcel us and then own us. Did we stop colonialism as Africa? Yes, to some extent. There are some states that got liberated as a result of combined African consciousness. So you can talk of Algeria, you can talk of Mozambique, generally Southern African states.
Yes.
Mozambique, Zimbabwe. I needed to check Angola, but I'm very sure about for Namibia, that is SWAPO. We see the role of Cuba, and certainly the eradication of the defeat of apartheid was as a result of African consciousness.
All right.
So yes, so we now have some role in chasing in the road to independence. We have another problem of racism, that the other black people who lost their black pigmentation think we are different. They think we are a different race. Okay. That ignorance. And there is some bit of segregation, racial discrimination, what they call racism.
Yes.
Where it is Africa, it's not Africa that exerted pressure on the racists to drop it. But there was some consciousness, some conscious movement by Africans or by people of African origin who struggled against racism. Martin Luther King and the others. But as Africa,
yes,
we did not unite. We hadn't united, build capacity to impose our will on those who are racists to drop it. Now, after independence,
yes,
you have neocolonialism. You have the neocolonial state in Africa becoming an agent of the master in destroying now the African people. So you have mass murder, mass displacement
neocolonialism, yes,
in DR Congo, former Zaire, in Rwanda, in South Sudan, in Libya, confusion in Ethiopia, Somalia, Mozambique, Uganda here in Acholi. So literally, if you have to do mapping,
yes,
most of Africa is covered by mass displacement, mass killing. Where you have some bit of stability, like in Egypt, you really don't want to think that the Egyptians are wholly independent. They are an agent of another power. USA, etc. And Egypt has a hand in Libya. It has a faction in Libya that it arms for somebody else. I'm even told Egypt and Kenya had a role in the rise of Tshisekedi. At least I've heard Kagame complain. Morocco is oppressing the Sahels. What are they called? The West African?
Region,
Yeah. The Polisario, that group. So even Morocco is more or less an agent of some other power. But unfortunately, against the African people. Ethiopia, as an agent of some other power, USA, etc., has had its role in the subjugation of the Somali people.
Yes.
So is Kenya, so is Uganda, and you have a lot of carnage going on there. And you don't see the Organization of African Union or the African, the Organization of African,
There is no Organization of African Union.
Sorry, Organization.
African Union.
No, there was.
There was before.
The Organization of African Union and or the African Union. You don't see a deliberate movement or consciousness to stop that. Where they have intervened at regional levels like ECOWAS, it was like the way they did in Sierra Leone against Charles Taylor and later on against Charles Taylor. You really see they were operating for some other power.
Yes.
In these operations against Gabgo, Guatala, the Gabgo-Guatala confusion. Yes, you see the role of France. You see the role of France. Gabgo is a Mchiga, that's why I pronounced it as Mchiga. Gabgo. Gabgo is a Mchiga from Kabari. So here they tried in Congo and failed. The East African community tried in Congo and failed, precisely because they were not a conscious African. It was not a conscious African effort.
Nice.
Therefore, I would like to say that in real terms, we don't have an African Union. We actually don't have one.
What do we then have? What is that body that is?
We have an agent, we have what?
That's a Sauna group.
Because
I told you, tell the man to be nice. Those
when you say
No, but it doesn't have to be done.
It's a
when
Sauna
we
group.
refer to that, it's actually a bit dehuman. Yes.
No, it's a Sauna group. I always meet a few friends in Sauna. We sweat and we discuss very serious issues. But that's it. It's Sauna.
So it has not done much.
So that there is no African Union. The organization, yes, there was some organization for African unity. Is it unity or unity?
Unity.
Yes, there was some organization. But for African Union, it's not there. There is no union.
In that sense, Charles, and
Because if it was there, then it would be there.
No, from that question, I'd like to pose to Dr. Nteke.
For instance, do you know of any union we can talk about and we see its elements of its existence?
The trade union, the European Union, all of
the European Union is there. Is there. You really can feel it. United Nations was there, but it's collapsing. At least that one was there. It has specific interests. Now where they have disagreed, they cannot work. It's now disabled. That's why you see it can't stop the war in Ukraine. It cannot stop the war in Gaza.
Yes.
because it's disabled. Its design
All right.
was for a specific group of people, and they designed it for their own interests. So that one is there for their interests. But for us, we as Africans,
It's not.
we don't have a union, because if we had a union, and you see it from simple basics, that even where you sit, you have no capacity. Because how can a union of African states fail to build a facility where to sit?
I'd like Dr.
had
Antege to
built.
take on. I'd like to Dr.
It
Antege
had.
to.
Yes.
It had built, but I'd like
there
Dr.
is, by
Antege
the way.
to
There is,
take on.
but they
Yes.
shifted.
Let me say this.
Yes.
Have you heard him?
While
That you can shift from your house to...
While I want to agree with Womusana, but I want to give some credit that there is an entity called African Union. It has a statutory rules and paperwork. It has a structure and goals to establish certain things. So there is something that you can't just create something new. Having said that, I have to say, before colonial time, before colonization, because sometimes we want to make Africa assume that Africa started to exist shortly before colonialism, then there was colonialism, then post-colonialism. But historians have told us how people would trade from Timbuktu. I mean, Africans were trading, they were moving. This is how we see Simanya, the Ngoni people moving from South. There must have been following something. People were moving within Africa. So it was not the white man, even with limited movement, like they were using their foot to move, they were moving.
Yeah.
There was some kind of communication, some kind of knownness. Now, with all the technology that can make you move, it is faster to move from here to London than to move from here to Kinshasa. If you want to board a plane to go to Kinshasa, and I want to go to London, I may reach faster. If you want to get a visa to go to Algeria and you take a plane, you may take actually 2 days to reach Algeria or Nigeria for that matter. Unlike if I want to go to Italy, it may be within 1 day I'm in Italy. What am I trying to allude to? I look at the union.
You don't have a huge mass of travelers. So
No, but there are barriers. So I look at
Not
this
only the
union.
travelers.
I look at this union locked in the colonial
frame.
controls that were established,
Okay.
that divided us, and they are still very, very strong. Look at people, Sudanese, Maya, these are Sudanese, these are Congolese, and we are very strong about them than the fact that these are Africans. I also look at the union, which is forced. It's like John and Jane want to get married. Oh, people say, no, Jane and John should get married and this one should marry the other one. Now start living together. We are calling you married people. Whether you are married, whether you're having children, no.
That's up
For
to
us, we know you people, we declared you married and now you are married and now we are expecting you to do the married things. So that marriage may not be strong.
It's like a forced one.
Yes, so you get John, James, John, Jackie in one room and allow them to do other things. Then they will like each other, they will marry, intermarry, and they will have children who may fit in.
I thought that is what was allowed in the African
What
Union.
we have, for me to go to Ethiopia, where there's the headquarters, I need a visa. He has told you for him to access the building called African Union, you need the clearance.
Actually, maybe if
So
I may
for
intervene.
me
Okay,
to go
after
to
him,
Rwanda,
Yes.
now it is much better that you can go to Rwanda. But
Can we just say within the East African community?
within East Africa
Okay,
community,
not all, not
somehow
entire.
it is much better that I can move faster. But I can't buy land easily in what? In Tanzania. So the fact that people can't move, we know that trade allows people to do a lot of things. Education allows people to do a lot of things. People to be able to interact. So the primary goal would be open up the boundaries that were created by colonialists,
okay,
and allow Africans to move and create a unity. But as long as we still have to control
so
according to the planned colonialists, we lack a lot. And yet, they are great opportunity.
Right.
We can't fight diseases. If there is Ebola in Uganda or in Congo, you can't say that we are closing your border. These are fair Africans.
They'll come through.
If Ebola can be spread by a bat, does a bat need a visa to come to Uganda? A bat will cross.
No.
So therefore, we need to find other mechanisms that are stateless, that are borderless, and they are much easier to accept than for us to try to control Africans, and yet we sit and say we have a union and that's this marriage. This marriage has a lot of rules, a lot of bureaucracies, a lot of control, and yet it's a great union that we can exploit.
Thank you. Mr. Carter, you had something to say before we get into the break.
I was talking about the issue of the visa.
Yes.
So, when you reach in Addis Ababa as a Ugandan, you are supposed to pay for a visa. But you'll find a Kenyan is not paying for a visa. Now, I had a discussion with the Minister of Youth of Ethiopia, of Federal Republic of Ethiopia.
Yes.
Now I was asking, including even the members from the African Union, and one of the challenges that are putting them is that they have failed as the African Union to make the borderless Africa. That a Ugandan will reach at Bole International Airport, wait for 1 hour to get a visa. If at all you have not applied it online. But some other countries are allowed visa free.
Still within Africa.
But you are going maybe to the home, to the headquarters of African Union, where the African Union is.
Yes.
Maybe you're going to meet your wife.
So
who is an Ethiopian.
You reach in Addis Ababa, the only exchange, foreign exchange that can only work is a dollar. They will not exchange.
It's an international currency.
Once you enter, Ugandan shilling lose value.
Yet even your phone doesn't.
But at the airport, you can do that.
No, actually you don't. They refuse. You don't at the airport. You with the Ugandan man. Actually, it is only the dollar. You Ugandan shilling. They don't exchange it.
we have a currency.
Anyway, that's a sarcastic question. So yes, I noticed. So you're pointing out those
because
major barriers.
You are looking at actually in some shops in Addis Ababa. I went to an African restaurant.
Restaurant.
They actually only allow on a dollar.
Not even their own.
Yes. To do transactions. In some hotels, even which is done in Uganda, also it is similar done to where? To Ethiopia, that they are only allow dollars. And also at one time, which is scarce.
There are hotels in Uganda that only deal in dollars?
Yeah, apartments, you don't know.
But you can still switch it into Uganda.
So I have to first change Ugandan money.
It doesn't. I haven't. Maybe they put the price.
I'll ask you. We were paying electricity.
Maybe they
during Umeme. We are paying it in what?
In dollars.
No, I'm saying here in Kampala, you don't know that they will tell you that we want a dollar without a dollar because of frustrations. Why they want it? Because they know it is
they prefer dollars.
Yes, they will tell you if you don't have a dollar apartment,
going down.
We cannot rent you. So it is one of the things that I have seen as a weakness in the African continent, with African Union, that the failure to make Africa
united as one,
to make it better, that I can be able to travel to Namibia, I can be able to travel to Addis Ababa without any hindrances.
Even South Africa.
Let me also give you another example.
Of course.
Yeah, let me give you another example. You reach to some states in some countries. I've been able to travel. I've been in Tanzania. I've been some. You reach to some that even us, we Africans, we still have racism. There is still within someone
us
who will not
ourselves
want to associate with you, yet is an African. Yet is an African. Some people, you will enter a bus, you're in a conference, they come from this country, they don't want to sit near you.
So
Yet
it's a
the
bigger
same
challenge
people,
that we have within our, yes.
Yet they are the same people
Yes.
on the African continent. So I think that is where we
Yeah,
have failed.
wow. A big thing.
Then
Yes.
maybe to add on,
Yes.
I had forgotten on the issue of trade.
Yes.
So when we were at the headquarters, I tried to interrogate the people who are responsible for the African continental free trade area. So because that was my interest to know how is it. So I discovered that this thing that we have been talking about, that what President Museveni is always talking about, that the politics within at the African Union headquarters and the member state is at high level. And that's why it has not moved. There are people who are controlling the budget, who feel the Secretariat is not working with what? With the African Union Commission. So there is always those wars. Who is controlling this? Who is controlling this? And I think that is why even it has failed to progress. And yet, trade in Africa should be liberalized, should be open.
We have the biggest.
That for you, if you are taking things in Ethiopia, if you are taking things in Congo, should be open. But the problem it is actually, the problem is at the African Union Court.
Is it? Because even within the East African community, we have not yet. We have not
looking at African Union as an entity and look at African Union headquarter is a limitation. You see, African Union headquarter is just one of those things.
One of those limitations.
It is just one of those.
But that is where most of the work is done, the department.
So then it would be African Union has remained at the African Union headquarters, which is actually South Africa and the Ethiopia. They are the two cities where these operations should take place. But the commissions and whatever, they are all at African Union headquarters. So when people think of African Union, they think of Ethiopia. So African Union become more of.
But Uganda is now going to host, I think, the humanitarian. Is it the
what now?
Actually, like they were going to be resident and have offices here for that arm. We want that bill.
The issue, if we cannot make a borderless Africa, that one, the work of the African Union
has not been.
Is still negative. Negative because in Europe, here I was telling you, see European Union.
You get a visa and you go to anywhere.
It has here. It has here. You see the work they are doing. Even apart, besides being in their continent. In Europe, a person, an European, a person from France will travel
to Belgium
at any time. Will be able to trade. I have a friend who lives in Frankfurt, whom we were with at Makerere in the guild. But this is the person who travels to Poland anytime, who travels and does some work.
At any given point in time.
I get it. But here, even when he says that going to Rwanda or Kenya, also you'll have challenges.
All right, we'll stop right there and continue our conversation. If you'd like to be a part of the conversation, go to our socials. That is at Facebook, on Facebook, on X, formerly Twitter, and on YouTube at Speed TV UG. Please leave a comment, leave a question, and just, is the African Union still referred to as the dog that barks but does not bite, or the other way around? This is The Truth, Lies and Politics on Speed TV. Stay tuned.
lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics